Hey, friendos, Steve here, and welcome back to Going In Raw Overrun. That's right, it's Overrun. It's the show that I got to do by myself today because Larson's not here. That's right, he's probably on the plane right now, coming back from Los Angeles. The other day he was like, "Hey, you just want to wait to do the podcast till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon?" And I was like, "Hell no, I don't want to do that. I want to do it Sunday night, and then get it up on Monday, and then never have to worry about it again." So that's where I'm at right now. Hold on a second. I'm going to check the audio on this thing, make sure it's coming out okay. Let's see. It's coming out okay. Let's see. Oh man, that's great. I think so far it sounds fantastic. Oh man, that's great. All right, that's awesome. I'm in sync. Everything's perfect. Anyway, so yeah, Overrun. It's post show. I'm going to ramble away for 30 minutes. And answer some questions. I put up a post-show thread. I put up an Overrun thread, and I got plenty of questions to answer. I don't know if I'm going to do it for half hour. I'll see how far it goes. Kind of antsy, to be honest with you. Let's see here. And then, of course, we got some non-news, which is kind of news. It's actually kind of news. I'm just going to get into that right now. Here's your graphic. All right, so today's non-news comes to us from Fightful. Here we go. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has this. This is actually kind of news, but it's Tuesday? No, it's Monday. We're not going to be really talking about this. I mean, I might get Larson's thoughts on it tomorrow during the Raw recap. Let me adjust my levels here. It's kind of news-ish. ARN Anderson. By the way, there's Gypsy back there. Hey, bud. Chip. Say hi to everybody. Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful has this. Yeah. And it was the reason why ARN Anderson was let go from the WWE. This is kind of messed up. But we're too far away from our next news show, which is next Friday, to talk about this. It was originally reported by Ryan Satin and Pro Wrestling Sheet last month that ARN Anderson and WWE had parted ways. He had been with WWE since the early 2000s. I think like since 2001. I think since the WCW purchase. Let's see here. The details were scarce at the time of the initial report, but Wrestling Inc. has this. Wrestling Inc. has confirmed with multiple sources that ARN Anderson was let go from WWE. Yeah, this is Wrestling Inc. Because he allowed Alicia Fox to wrestle intoxicated. She let her go out there and wrestle hammer drunk. I don't know the level of her toxicity. I don't know. But apparently ARN Anderson was the agent for her match. That's the person, the professional who puts it together with the participants of the match. And he allowed her to perform, even though she showed up to the venue drunk. Vince was reportedly furious when he found out. So that was at a house show, doesn't say when, but apparently that was the deal with there was an incident at a house show. Arn said, "That is the most old school wrestling shit I've ever heard in my life." Because I'm pretty sure every wrestler in the 1980s went out there after consuming at least a 6-pack in the preceding hour that they had to go out there. I'm pretty sure they were probably on all sorts of stuff back then. And I'm pretty sure ARN Anderson, he's probably had his fair share of 6-packs preceding matches that he had in the 80s. That's pure speculation on my part. You hear all sorts of crazy shit from shoot interviews and whatnot about what wrestlers used to do. It's a whole different culture these days. Everything is different now. So yeah, not terribly surprising that they would do that back then, but why anybody would find it appropriate to be like, okay, just go out there, it's fine. You're putting other wrestlers at risk. Like, seriously. Everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to be coordinated in these wrestling matches. And you can't just load somebody up or have somebody show up loaded. I mean, look at Jeff Hardy that time. He came out just blotto against Sting in TNA. It was Bound for Glory or one of the other pay-per-views. Victory Road, I think it was. It's comically tragic, or whatever. You look that up and you take a look at that, and it's horrifying. And Sting's like, "What the hell? This is not going to be a real match. We're not going to do this." That's terrible. I'll be honest, both people kind of deserve to get fired at that point. I'm not sure if they'd have a case against Alicia Fox, considering maybe she could claim, hey, I've got an alcohol abuse problem, in which case she should be at rehab. According to Wrestling Inc., though, her status is actually unclear. She was not backstage at Raw last week. They have reached out to WWE and will provide an update if WWE responds to Wrestling Inc. So, man, oh man, that's kind of crazy. Didn't see that one coming. Anyways, so now I'll go ahead and answer some of your questions since Larson's not here. Here we go. CM Punk finds it insulting. That's there, Thabata. Nipple lights, yay or nay? He posted some GIF in response to an Ask Stephen Lacey, I think. No, in response to me retweeting a funny dog video. And he says, but yet you won't watch anime. I don't know what that means. I don't watch anime because what does anime have to do with dog videos there at the bottom? So I'm going to say nay. Nay. Nipples should be left alone unless there's pasties on them. Greg Morris, alternate universe time. Had Triple H not gotten injured in 2001, how would his presence change the Invasion storyline? He would have been much more heavily involved in it. I could probably say that. I don't remember. I don't remember what was the two-man power trip preceded the Invasion. Is that right? He would have. Here's the thing. Whoever was the focal point of that sort. Remember how Kurt Angle was like eventually he was the mole for them. When did Triple H get injured? It would have been Triple H would have been the mole. Maybe that would have been the thing. Maybe that would have been it. Kineku Bone Man, opinions on classic Godzilla movies. I like the idea of Godzilla movies. I've never been like a big fan of them. Because you really want to sit there for an hour and a half and watch just a guy in a big lizard suit. But I like all the movie posters. I'm a bigger fan of the movie posters than I am of the movies themselves. Richard Morris, top 5 scary horror thriller movies. The original Haunting. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Candyman. Hostel. And then that one where everybody has to be quiet. That was a really good one. That one that just came out. A Quiet Place. That was a good one. I like that. That's good. Let's see here. MWO official 2 Sweeter Daniel Morris, maybe? It doesn't give me the full name here. Did Steve murder Larson, or did Larson Hunter come through Rawgate and get Larson? Kayfabe, I should have said any of those. No, he just went to LA. He just went to Los Angeles. He's all good. He's fine. Stevie Bradley, logistically speaking. Stevie Bradley always loves the behind the scenes of going in Raw. How would you want to do the SmackDown recap when it moves to Fridays? Oh, I don't know, man. Probably just hire like hire like an employee or something. So that like we'll do it rotating. Like I'll be me and Larson, me and new guy, Larson and new guy, me and Larson. Like we just rotate so that every once in a while we could each get like a Friday night off. Maybe what we'll do is watch the East Coast feed and just crank out the review that Friday night. So we can have a weekend off. Maybe that's what we'll do. There's no right answer. There's no good answer. It's crap. Most people, they get there. But, our job is really easy. Our job is fun. Our job is silly. So you got to make some compromises sometimes. So I'm fine with whatever, I guess. I guess I'd put it this way. I would rather come in late on Friday than early on Saturday. do not want to deal with Saturday mornings. My weekend is my weekend. So I'll say that. Logistically speaking, I'd probably just prefer coming in, doing like, maybe even doing like a watch party thing, or we'll just sit there and watch it without a watch party. I don't know. And then just and then just do it. Set up like a couch in the back room or something. It's Fridays, I guess. There's no good answer. There's no good answer there. Let's see here. Bud Ryan. What match do you think would be better, kayfabe wise? Oh, which match would you do better in, kayfabe wise? A Rumble match or a ladder match? Oh, Rumble. Rumble, absolutely. There's no question there. All you got to do is just go down and like hold on to the bottom rope. Definitely, or just leave. Just leave out from underneath the bottom rope and the second rope. Or just underneath the whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Tim Spulak, which Trek captain in their prime would be the best wrestler? Okay, Gypsy. In their prime? Well, let's go down the credentials. You got Kirk, who in his prime, I don't know, like Picard, he was a physical specimen when he was younger. I'm not sure if that's his prime. If you consider Next Generation Picard's prime, he's old. The answer is probably, honestly, I hate saying this because I'm not a fan of Enterprise, but it's probably Jonathan Archer. He seemed to be the most fit of everybody. Although wrestling math would probably go to Kirk. Yeah, wrestling math probably goes to Kirk. Let's see here. Michael Valdez, classic movie The Stuff. Thoughts? I don't know what that movie is. Sorry, I don't. Sam Montgomery, what is your favorite 90s sitcom besides Seinfeld? Mine is Frasier. It gets a bad rap because people think it's snooty, but Frasier is the biggest buffoon on the show. It's fantastic. My favorite 90s sitcom besides Seinfeld, if you take The Simpsons out also, because I don't know if that's really a sitcom, but I would probably say Seinfeld. I'm sorry, The Simpsons. But if you take that out, if you like the traditional sitcom, which is like, multicam setup, it might be. What was that one? Was it no? What was the one? Hold on. What was that show called? News Radio. Maybe it's News Radio. Maybe it's News Radio. Let's take a look. 90s sitcoms. News Radio had a killer cast, man. Just a killer cast. Let's see here. No. Third Rock was actually really funny. Cheers was great, but I consider that more of an 80s sitcom. Married with Children's classic. That's, again, probably its best years were in the 80s. Let's see here. Nope. Coach. I loved Coach. Coach was great. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd probably give it to News Radio. What a killer cast it had. It had, what's the name? Dave from the Kids in the Hall. Had Phil Hartman in it. Joe Rogan was in it. What a great cast that was. Where'd they go? Who else is in that cast? What's his face? That one dude. Yeah, that's a good cast right there. All right, let's see here. What else? Ricky Scurvy, what kind of cheese is best and what do you eat it with? I think my personal favorite is, I mean, it's probably cheddar, but maybe it's Monterey Jack. Cheddar gets too greasy Monterey Jack has like a perfect melt. I'm going to say Monterey. Christopher Appersod. Thoughts on Shazam and the new trailer? I'll be honest. That movie looks kind of fun. I think that movie looks kind of fun. Could be a sleeper hit. And he says, R.I.P. Luke Perry. I am bummed out about that. Luke Perry died, man. That's a bummer. That's a total bummer. Let's see here. The next review, Tim Spulak, the next review you do solo, can you bring Lacey in so we can get a non-informed person's perspective on WWE? Well, for one thing, she works. Another thing, the problem is, point of a podcast is to provide insight based off of experience. And because she doesn't have any experience with the wrestling stuff, besides me dragging her along to shows every once in a while, I don't really know what she'd add. I'd use her in a million different ways, like for stuff like this, like Ask Stephen Lacey. You know, I want to do more gameplay stuff with her. I'd even consider doing like some tape trade stuff with her, so we can like watch wrestling together. But I mean, if I'm talking about new stuff, I'm not really sure. I don't think she'd feel comfortable doing that, because she'd be like, I don't know. What do you want me to say? Let's see here. Patrick Sparks. What are the top 3 comic story arcs from Marvel, DC, and an indie, say Dark Horse or choice of yours? Jeez, that's a lot. Top 3 story arcs for DC. So in my opinion, it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, Armageddon, what is it called? Armageddon 2001? I think that's what it was. And probably Final Crisis. Marvel Secret Wars. And some X-Men stuff. The Dark Phoenix. I don't know. I was never huge into Marvel. And then an indie. I always was fascinated by Spawn, but I don't know, like it's up to like issue like 200 or 300 now, and I have no idea what's going on in it. I don't know. Like the initial premise was great, and then they just got really weird with it. AKA Billy, what is your best tip for someone learning how to draw? I've been learning for a little over a year now. So Billy, what I would suggest is draw as much as you possibly can. Literally this is one of those things, literally the only way you're ever going to get better at drawing is if you continue to draw. You can, obviously take lessons, you can look at tutorials, you can see how things go, but the best thing, honestly, is just draw all the time. Draw. It is one of those things that's kind of crazy. Like when I started drawing, and then when I was, from when I was a teenager until like my early 20s, even from when I did my first comic book in 2004 to when I did my last comic book during the period when I was trying to do comics in 2009, the difference was huge. It was a massive, massive difference. So yeah, that's what I would suggest, because I was drawing constantly. I was always doing it. So if, try to draw outside your comfort zone. If you're not into cars, if you don't want to draw cars, then try to draw cars. And then do it over and over and over again. And eventually you'll get better. Let's see here. Samuel Bronkowitz. Would Stacy Keibler be a better choice than Tori Wilson for the Hall of Fame? Naturally, others are more deserving, but you had to choose between these two. They are literally no different to me. Neither are even come close to being deserving of a Hall of Fame induction. They just don't. They don't. The only difference is Tori Wilson evidently wants to be, or is. Tori Wilson's on good terms with WWE, and I think Stacy Keibler probably is, but she evidently has said that maybe she said she did want to come back. I don't know. To me, there's no difference. There really isn't. It's absolutely bizarre. She's a decent name. People have fond memories of Tori Wilson, but that's like now that seems to be the lone criteria for getting in the Hall of Fame. Same with Brutus. Are you serious? Brutus Beefcake is in the Hall of Fame? What? I don't know. It's a terrible, terrible. Besides DX, like Honky Tonk. Even I'm not even sure Honky Tonk Man deserves to be in. I mean, I guess he does based on his Intercontinental reign, but still. Zenith64, what's a concert you go to based on bands of today or that haven't broken up in 2019? What's a concert I'd go to based on bands of today? I'd go to a Radiohead concert. I've been to a bunch of those. I'm always down to do that. I don't know. There's a lot of smaller bands out there that I sort of find here and there that I'd be interested. I don't like big concerts. I don't like going to like the Gold One Center and going to a concert. Too many people. You can't get close enough unless you're like savvy at getting tickets, which are usually too expensive anyways. Not into it. I like smaller venues. I'd rather go to a smaller venue for a band I've never heard of than like the Golden One Center and be in the nosebleeds for like my favorite band. That's just me. Let's see here. I'm Jen Lee accepted. I'm going to be a judge at my church's upcoming meatball cook-off. I was just wondering if going in raw math works for meatballs or if I need to change the formula. Ask the same question maybe tomorrow, because Larson will probably be better at going in raw math for food. Wayne Lynch, Wayne-maker. Best 80s UK junk food. See, the thing is, we lived on an American Air Force base when I was there. We didn't really... I mean, we did. I'm trying to remember any UK junk food, though. Like, all we ever used to get if we went off base was, like, fish and chips. Or we'd go to a pub. So I don't know. I mean, I know the McVitie's digestives aren't really good for you. I really like those. They sell them, like, at this international shop nearby. Let's see here. Jimmy Thomas, favorite classic TV show. Well, define classic. I'm going to say the Dick Cavett Show, man. That dude would ask some good questions. Thomas Dunnigan, what's going in raw math for Steve and Larson individually? Again, ask that question tomorrow when Larson's around. And then Tim the Toolman Taylor, how do you feel about Torrey Wilson as the latest Hall of Fame inductee? I already said, big thumbs down. That's it for Overrun. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Tune in tomorrow because Larson will be around. And it'll be far less awkward. Talk to you guys later.